green marble crochet tutorial. For this tutorial, I'm just going to be showing you how to make a very simple roll neck sweater. Yeah, really basic. There's not a lot to say. You should definitely just get straight into making it. However, if you haven't subscribed but you would like to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you join me. A really big thank you to my patrons. Thank you for your love and thank you for your support. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. Yeah. Also, if you need to get in contact with me for any crochet reason, you know, for anything you need help with, look for me on Instagram. You can find me at the_green_marble. And hopefully I can help you with whatever question you have. And yes, that's it. We should just get straight into making this sweater. Okay, so to make this roll neck, I'm going to be using this lovely light pink Mondial. And to begin with, we're going to have a look at the tiny details on the label. So I'll just run you through them quickly. If you need more time to look at something, make sure you pause the video. So there is the label. So it's 100% acrylic. Anti-piling, which is good. So it's saying to use a 3.5 or a 3mm hook, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be using a 4mm. So there you go. All the relevant details. Yeah, like I said, if you need more time to have a look, just pause the video. Also, I just want to mention quickly, if I go too fast at any point during the tutorial, there's a feature on YouTube where you can slow down the speed of the video. So have a look for that. I think it's like on the side panel or the bottom panel or something. It's like 3 dots, and you can change the settings of the video. So you can change the speed, which is really good. So yeah, 4mm, and let's begin. All right, now to begin, we're going to find the end of our yarn. We're going to start by making a slip knot. So where are we? Let's try and focus. And we wrap the yarn around our fingers like so, pull through for a slip knot, and then we're going to adjust that knot to our hook, just like this. And we're going to start by making a chain of 20. So to chain stitch, it's yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So it's 3 chains, and then yarn over, pull through, that's 4. So we'll go away, we'll do our 20 chains, we'll meet back up once we've done that, and we'll talk about what to do next. Alright, now here is our chain of 20. And what we're doing right now is we're forming the collar, so the roll neck collar. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain an extra 1. So we've got 21, effectively. But what we're going to do is we're going to be skipping that first chain from the hook just there. So that chain just there, we're going to skip that, and we're going to put a single crochet into the next chain along. So skipping that first chain, move to the next one along, second chain, single crochet into that second chain from the hook, and then we're going to put a single crochet into all of those chains all the way back down to the beginning, so that we have a row of single crochets. And once we've completed that, we're going to meet back up again, and we're going to talk about what to do next. Alright, so here I am with my row of single crochets. So it's like this. Now what we're going to do next, because we're making this collar ribbed, so what we do is we chain up 1 and we turn the work. So turning the work like this, we put a single crochet through the whole of the first stitch. So obviously skipping the chain that we just chained up 1, but that first stitch just there, we go in beneath both parts of that. See, there's a V on top of the stitch. Go in beneath both parts of that V and single crochet. But then for stitches 2 through to 19, we're going to be putting the stitch, the single crochet, into the top back part of that V on the top of the stitch. So there's the V just there. You go into that top back part and single crochet like that. I hope you saw that. So let's do that again together into the next stitch along. So that one just there, that top back part, go into there, single crochet. So that's what you do for stitches 2 through to 19, and then we'll meet back up at the 20th, and that's going to be, well, it's going to be the same as the first one. You're going to go through beneath both parts of that V. So for every first and last stitch, it's beneath the whole, or through the whole stitch. For every second through to 19, it's into the top back part of the stitch. And this is what helps to form the ribbing effect of the collar. We're also going to do ribbed cuffs, but that's, you know, we'll get to that, and I'll go through that with you as well. But that's a long way off, so we're doing this now. Once we get to the end of this row, we'll talk about what to do next. See you soon. Okay, now here I am at the end of that row, and I'm about to put in my 20th stitch. So through both parts, or through beneath both parts of the V on the top of the stitch. So there we go. That is row 2. So what we do now is we chain up 1 and we turn, and we just repeat the last row. So beneath both parts of the V for the first stitch, like so, then into the top back part of stitches 2 through to 19, top back part of the stitch, just like this, and then for the 20th one, through the whole stitch. So we're going to be doing this, and obviously we're doing enough of these rows so that when you wrap the collar around your neck, you know, it's going to fit, so it'll come off and on easily, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so we're doing that. For me, I think it's going to be 60 of these rows, but because I haven't made this sweater for a while, and I think the first time I made it, or the last time I made it, I used a 5mm hook, so I'm not sure if I might need to do more rows this time to make it wider. So yeah, obviously we'll meet back up and I'll let you know how many I did. And we'll talk about joining the collar and starting work on the shoulder section. Alright, see you soon. Okay, now, so using a 4mm hook instead of the 5, I actually had to do 70 rows of this ribbing instead of 60 so that it would fit comfortably around my neck when I fold it in half. So what we're going to do now is we're going to join both ends and then get working on the body. So to do that, what we do is, here's where we left off with our last stitch, just here. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it around like this, then pick up the other end where the foundation chain is. We're going to be folding it in half like this, so that the foundation chain is closest to you, just here. Then you're going to stick your hook through the corresponding foundation chain on the other side. It's going to match up with that last stitch just there. And you're going to grab that last stitch with your hook. So where are we? Making sure not to get it twisted. So you're going to grab that last stitch onto the hook, and you're just going to pull that through that corresponding foundation chain like that. Then moving on to the next foundation chain along, you're going to pick up stitch number 2 at the other end, and you're going to yarn over, pull through, and pull through that stitch. So you're slip stitching the ends together. So you're going to do that 20 times, every foundation chain matching up with every stitch at the other end. So there's 3, then into 4, picking up the 4th stitch, so just like that. So slip stitch all those together. We'll meet back up once you've slip stitched all 20 stitches together in foundation chains, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, now that I've slip stitched all my row ends together, and that's what that's going to look like, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick my hook through here. This is obviously the wrong side of the work, and we're going to be turning this inside out in a minute. But what I'm going to do is, see there's that annoying sort of beginning tail. I'm just going to stick my hook through there and pull it through so that it's out of the way when we turn it inside out, so it's not sticking up, getting in the way. Alright, so because there's 70 rows and there's 70 row ends, and we're going to be working our double crochets for the body straight into those row ends, what we're going to do is, and also because there's 70 row ends, I've marked out 20 stitches for both the front and the back, and each shoulder section where we're going to be beginning the increases. So just here, I've marked those out. There's 15 for each shoulder section. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this inside out like this, so that last slip stitch is on the inside just there. You can see that just there. Hang on. Focus the camera. All right. Then picking up the hook, we're going to also, yeah, just to mention quickly, obviously the seam, which is in the middle of the back, so there's going to be 10 stitches on either side of that. Just wanted to mention that quickly. Anyway, moving on, going to pick up that straight from that slip stitch, that last slip stitch. You're going to pick that up again. You're going to adjust that to the hook, and then you're going to chain up 2. So 1, 2, and you're going to put a double crochet into the first row end. Actually, you're going to put a double crochet into the next 10 row ends. So starting with that first one just there, and you'll be able to find the row ends very easily because you went through the whole of the first and the last stitch. So that makes the row ends really easy to get into. So for a double crochet, what you do is you yarn over, insert your hook into that row end just there, so just into there, then yarn over, pull a loop through that row end, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet. Then moving on to that next row end along just there, same thing, double crochet, so that's going to be 2, then moving on to the next row end just there, so that's going to be 3. So do your 10 row ends, double crochets into row ends. We'll meet back up when you've done your 10th, and we'll talk about what we're going to do for the first increase. All right, now here I am putting in my 10th double crochet to that 10th row end along. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do an increase. So starting straight from the collar just here into the next row end along, we can take out that stitch marker because we know we're going to be working into that row end. So what we're going to do is we're going to, into that first of the 15 for this shoulder, we're going to put a double crochet into the row end. So 1 double crochet into that row end, followed by a chain 2. So chain 2, 1 and 2. Then into that same row end, you're going to put another double crochet. So right into that row end again, another double crochet, same spot, and that's your first increase. And that's what that's going to look like. All right, so that's the first space of the next 15 row ends. So you're going to go into the next row end with a double crochet. So just that one there, and you can count that as 2. Then moving on to the next row end, which you'll count as 3. But when you get to 15, we're going to meet back up, and we'll talk about what we're going to do at that point. All right, now here I am at that 15th row end, and I can take my stitch marker out because we're going to be working into that. Move it aside, just like that. So now what we're going to do is just the same as we did for the last increase. We double crochet into that row end. Focus the camera. Double crochet into that row end. 1 double crochet followed by a chain 2. So 1, 2, and then another double crochet into that same row end. Double crochet, same row end. Just like that. Then what we're going to do after that is we're going to put a double crochet in, just a single double crochet into the next 20 row ends along till you get to the next stitch marker, and you're just going to repeat the process that you did for this shoulder. So you double crochet into the first of the 15 stitches marked out, chain 2, double crochet again into that same row end, then complete the next, what is it, like 14 stitches along, no, 13 stitches along till you get to the 15th row end that's been marked out, and you double crochet into that row end, chain 2, double crochet again into the same row end. Then for the end of this round you should be left with 10 row ends to work a double crochet into. So we'll meet back up when we get to the end of the round. So I think you should know what to do from here. We'll have a look at it, we'll see how it's worked out. I have faith in you, you should be able to do it pretty easy. And so should I. All right, I'll see you soon. Okay, now I'm on my final stitch of the round, so I'm just going to put that into the final row end. The 10th one along on the back at the end. And picking up the chain 2 from the beginning, so just there, that chain of 2, see right there at the end. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that to close the round. So slip stitching to the top of that chain 2, close the round, and there is round 1. Alright, so that's what that's going to start to look like, and there's those increases for the shoulder. So what we're going to do, I'll run you through doing the next round, and then I'm going to leave you for a few rounds because you're going to continue with the increases, but we'll talk about that in a moment. First, we're going to do this. So what we do for the next round, and what you're going to do for every round after that until we get to a certain point, we're going to chain up 2, so 1, 2, then we're going to turn the work. And the reason I turn the work is because it stops the seam from drifting to the side. So we're always going to be doing that each time we finish a round. Chain up 2, turn the work, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put a double crochet into every stitch till you get to the increase. Now what I do is I don't put my first double crochet right into that stitch beneath the chain of 2. I go into the next one along, so not that one just there, we yarn over into that one is going to be our first stitch. And the reason I do that is because my final stitch is going to be that connecting stitch just there at the end. So you can see just there, the connecting stitch right beneath that chain of 2, that's going to be your final stitch of the round. So there we go, I've put that stitch in, then just working a double crochet into every stitch along, all the way till the increase section. Meet you at the increase section and we'll talk about how to do the next increase. Okay, now here I am putting my final stitch in before the increase. Make sure you get that last one right at the end there, just before the increase. See, that's right there at the end. Double crochet into that stitch. And here we are at the increase section. So what we do at this point is we double crochet into that increase section. So going into that space where the chain of 2 is, put a double crochet into that, and then chain 2, so 1, 2, and you're going to put another double crochet into the chain space, and that's how we increase from here on. So another double crochet into that chain space, then just moving on to the next stitch along, and you're going to put in a double crochet up until the next increase section, and you're going to do the same thing. Double crochet into the chain space, chain 2, another double crochet into the chain space, then double crochets till the next increase section, and you're going to continue doing that until the end of the round. Complete the end of the round. Then once you get to the end of the round, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning, chain up 2, turn the work, and repeat this round. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be continuing increases like this until the front and the back seams fit comfortably beneath your arms. So I will probably meet back up with you at that point, and I'll try on the sweater and I'll show you how it should be starting to look so that you get an idea of what that should be. So yeah, you're going to continue doing this. I don't know, usually for me it's about I don't know, maybe 14, 15 increase rounds till the seams fit beneath my arms comfortably. But because it's a 4mm hook, it might be more. So obviously I'll meet back up with you when I'm at that point, and I'll let you know how many rounds I've done. So yeah. So this is where you can just, zone out, maybe stick on a movie, listen to some music, listen to an audio book, maybe a podcast or something. I don't know, whatever you want to do. And just relax, do your double crochets and your increases. And then, yep. All right, I'm going to shut up and we'll get to work, and I'll see you soon. Okay, now that I've reached a point where the front and the back seams fit comfortably beneath my arms, so that's what it's going to start to look like, we're going to work on joining those seams. So to do that, what we're going to do is straight from where we've left off, we're going to begin another round. Turn it around the other way. We're going to begin another round. So once again, we're going to chain up 2. So 1, 2. We're going to turn the work. And we're going to put double crochets in until we get to the first increase section. So once we reach the first increase section, we're going to meet back up. And I'm going to show you how we're going to join the seams. Okay, now here I am at that first increase section. Now what we're going to want to do before we do anything else is we're going to make sure the yarn is over this way. We're going to pick up the corresponding increase section at the front. So this is the one at the back. We're going to pick up the one at the front and we're just going to fold these 2 increase sections together like this. So I hope you saw that, see? So it's like this. We're folding them together, making sure the yarn is over that side. Folding them together. Now that they're folded together, so they're lined up just like that, you're going to grab that yarn, you're going to yarn over, go through both of those increase sections, so they're lined up, go through both at the same time, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you've pretty much just double crocheted those 2 increase sections together, just like that. So that's what we've done. All right, now what we do is we just move straight on to the stitches at the front. And you complete the stitches at the front till you get to the next increase section. So that'll be the next front increase section. You're going to fold that together with the corresponding back increase section. You're going to double crochet those both together at the same time and just complete the remaining stitches at the back till you get to the end of the round. You're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 to close the round. Then you're going to chain up 2, turn the work. And then, yeah, you're just going to continue doing rounds for the body until you've grown the body to a length that you're happy with. So we can each go away. We can all go away and do that separately, obviously. And then we'll meet back up once we've done that. And all we have to do from there is talk about how we're going to do the arms. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I will meet back up with you again and show you how to do the ribbed cuffs and the ribbed hem. But that's about it. That's all we need to do. All right. So I'll see you when you've grown the length of the body. All right. See you soon. Okay, now that we've crocheted the body of our sweater to a length that we're happy with, so I've also added the ribbed hem to mine, and what I've done is I've done a ribbed hem that is the same length as the neck, so 20 stitches. So I've done that, but I'll run through how to do that with you when we get to the ribbed sleeve cuff part. So we'll do that later. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start working on the sleeves. So what you want to do when you're working on the sleeve, you want to make sure that to begin with, for your first round that you're going to be starting, you want to make sure that the wrong side of the round is facing you. So what I mean by the wrong side is not the braided side. So you can see the braided side is there on the inside, and this is the wrong side just here. So it's not the braided side. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a fresh piece of yarn, and we're going to start by making a slip knot. So making a slip knot. And we're going to look for one of the places, or for this sleeve, we're going to look for where we joined with a single crochet to continue the body. And we're going to go back into those increase sections where we joined. So the same increase section where we joined for the body, we're going to put our hook through those increase sections again. So I'll show you like this. So there's the sleeve. There's those increase sections where we joined with that double crochet, sorry. So go in through that hole again, where those two go through both of those increase sections. Adjust your new slip knot to the hook, pull it through both of those, then pull that slip knot tight, but don't pull it too tight because you want it to be able to wrap around both of those increase sections that we're going to be chaining together. All right, so what we do straight from this slip knot is we chain 2, so 1, 2, then turning to the next stitch along on the round, we just put a double crochet into the next stitch. So we're going to be putting double crochets into every stitch around. And once you get to the end of the round, we'll meet back up and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, see you soon. Okay, now here I am at the end of the round. So I made sure to get that very last stitch just there. So I'm just having a look at that one there. All right, now what we're going to do is we're just going to find the chain 2 from the beginning of the round. So where is that? That's there. So there's the chain 2. So you're just going to, I'll make sure you can see that. So there's the chain 2 from the beginning. And what we're going to do is we're just going to slip stitch above that into the top of that to close the round. So now it's just going to be like the body from here on until you've grown the length of the sleeve into a length that you are happy with. So you chain up to 1, 2, and you turn the work, making sure to keep that continuity, the back and forth continuity. Also, I forgot to mention before that the reason you needed to work your first round into the wrong side is because that's maintaining the back and forth continuity of the pattern. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. So like I said before, so you've chained up 2, you've turned, you don't put your first stitch into that one directly beneath the chain of 2, you put it into the next one along. Then you complete the round and your last stitch will be into that connecting stitch beneath the chain 2, just at the end. Point to it, just at the end there. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So like I said, grow the length of your sleeve to a length that you're happy with. What I'm thinking of doing for this sleeve is, for the last part, doing the cuff the same length as the hem and the collar as well. So I might do that. I might not, but I'm going to work, like I'm going to experiment and see how it goes. And obviously, we'll meet back up. And you'll find out. We'll all find out. So yes, let's go away. Let's grow the length of our sleeve. Let's do what we have to do. And then we'll meet back up and I will run you through how to do the ribbed hem for the cuff. All right, see you soon. Okay, now that I've double crocheted my sleeve to a length where I'm ready to add the ribbed cuff, what we're going to do is we're going to work straight from our last stitch, so the stitch where we slip stitched for the previous round, or for the last round that we did of double crochet. What we're going to do straight from here is we're going to chain 21. So just like the collar that we did, we're chaining 21. So 1, 2, 3, so chain 21. Okay, and here's my chain of 21. Now, just like the collar, what we do is we skip that first stitch from the hook, so the first chain. Skipping the first chain, we single crochet into the second chain along, so just like that, and then single crochet into every chain all the way back to the beginning, so that's 3. So single crochets all the way back to the beginning, and I'll meet you back there because we're going to do something a little bit different. Okay, see you soon. Alright, now there I am with all my single crochets into that chain. Now, because the initial chain, the original chain of 21 that we've just done here, the stitch just below that chain, just here, that's what's, the chain is represented by this stitch. So, because of the single crochets, what we're going to do is moving to the next stitch along, we're going to slip stitch. So there's that, let me get closer. So there's that stitch just there beneath the chain. Moving to the next one along, we're going to slip stitch into that stitch because of the single crochets that we did down the chain. Now, because we're going to be doing single crochets back up the chain, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch along as well. So slip stitching into the next stitch along. Then we're going to sort of awkwardly turn, but trust me, this is how it works. And we're going to be putting single crochets back up the other end, but in the ribbed style, just like we've been doing. So through the first stitch, it's going to be a single crochet into the entire of the stitch. Then moving on to stitches 2 through to 18, isn't it? 18? 19, sorry, 2 through to 19. It's through the top back part of the V on top of the stitch, so just there like that. And then into the 20th stitch, you're going to go through the whole of the stitch as well. Then you're going to chain up 1, turn, repeat the row, so single crochet through the entire of the first stitch into the top back part of the V for stitches 2 through to 19, and then into the 20th you're going to single crochet through the entire of the stitch, then slip stitch into the next stitch along on the hem. So sorry, I'll just show you. So when you get back to this end with the next row of single crochet on top of this one just here, you slip stitch into the next stitch along, so that will be that one. Sorry, you've already slip stitched into that one, so that one along, you'll slip stitch into that, then you'll slip stitch into the next one along. So you're slip stitching into 2 stitches once you get back to the beginning, if you see what I mean. It'll make sense as you go along. It really will. Alright, so that's what we're going to do till we get to the, to our last row of ribbing. And once we've reached that, we're going to meet back up and we're going to talk about, actually we probably don't have to. You're just going to slip stitch the corresponding stitches together with the corresponding foundation chain thingy like we did for the collar. And once you've done that, that's it. That's all you have to do. So yeah, if you need to remember how to do that, just go back to the beginning of the video. I might try and put a timestamp in for the joining of the ribbed collar, just in case you need it. I hope I remember to do that. If I don't, please remind me in the comments and I will do it. Alright, so there we go, that's that. And then once we've done that, we've finished, and that's all we need to do. Alright, so we'll go away, we'll finish our cuff, and then later on we're going to meet back up, we're going to try on our sweaters, we're going to see how they look. I think they're going to look pretty good. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Yeah, so I mean it's still freezing here in the south of Spain for some reason, so this may not be weather appropriate at this time because I've actually made mine quite short. Not entirely a crop top, but pretty short. And so maybe I won't be able to wear it till spring, depending on, when the weather... Anyway, enough of that, enough chatting. So let's just get to work and see you soon when we try on our sweaters. Okay, see you soon. Alright, here is the finished sweater. So I'm not going to lie, I was actually a little bit worried to begin with about how this was going to turn out, but I don't know what I was worried about because I love it. It's turned out better than I expected. I really, really do. I think this is my new favorite sweater because, as we all know, I love a pink. Anyway, so this design is something I'm hoping to expand on and do different variations this winter. So I have another design coming up in mind that going to be a little bit like this, but a little bit different. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you've made yourself a lovely roll neck, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.